Howdy, folks. Today we're looking at Bill and Ted's excellent comic book number 11 from 1992 in Marvel Comics. And so we reached the penultimate issue of Evan Dorkin's year-long stand in the trenches of licensed comic books, with the story focusing on the untimely death of our 16th president. The setup is a Planet of the Apes movie marathon, which in 1992 would only have represented a 5-film commitment. The boys are accompanied on their night out by Death, who of course lost another game night and ends up on the hook for buying all the snacks. The Grim Reaper's reaction to the end of the first Planet of the Apes is the best joke in the book, and it's followed by the even better joke of Bill and Ted not knowing how their good friend Abraham Lincoln actually died. From there, the issue proceeds to its premise, very familiar to fans of sci-fi and alternate history stories. What if the boys used their magic phone booth to save Lincoln from his grisly fate? The answer might shock you, but probably not if you've ever read any variation on the formula. Things end up far worse without the tragic event having occurred. Bill and Ted return to a 1992 marked by perpetual civil war between rival police states, an authoritarian nightmare marked by brutal crackdowns on dissidents, the banning of books and media, and harsh curfews in Los Angeles, to say nothing of the pollution suits and a lack of comic strips in the newspaper. It's certainly funny, in a very rueful sense of the word, to see 1992's idea of an impossible dystopia. To be frank, it's not my favorite device, and seems rather tin-eared from the perspective of 2025 to posit that Lincoln's death and the inevitable curtailment of Reconstruction was a necessary sop to historical inevitability. But again, this is a comic book from 3 decades ago, plotted out like your standard Twilight Zone narrative, and so probably a mistake to read too much into it. The creative team is starting to shake apart, with the reliable Marie Severin replaced by the credited Inks R Us, a sure sign the book was falling down the schedule and out of priority. That team is listed as Severin, Jimmy Palmiotti, Mark McKenna, Brian Garvey, and Brad Venkata. Robbie Bush is out on colors, replaced by Dana Mooreshead. Dorkin himself hasn't lost an ounce of his fevered intensity, however, with multiple incidental shoutouts to the Beastie Boys. Check Your Head would have been in constant rotation, De La Soul and Dick Croizon. It's quite possible no Marvel comic has ever had better taste in music.